Hello, everyone. Throughout world history, ever since the beginning of mankind, the genesis of our civilization, empires rose and fell. There was a time for each part of the world with people expressing themselves, sharing their thoughts, sharing their culture, their music, their literature, their science, and their faith. So there was a time for each part of the world. There was a time for Africa during the age of the Egyptian kingdoms and so forth. There was a time for the Middle East with Babylon and Assyria and the Sumerians and Persia. There was also a time for Asia, India and China. There has been a time for every single part of the world. Everybody, everywhere, spread through all the nations, all the planet, because humans are very good at spreading, okay? Because even before the Europeans arrived at the American continent, there were people here as well. We are very good at spreading. We find our way through the ice caps, through the we find our ways through the ocean, through deserts, and we just spread. And now here we are in 2026, 21st century, third millennium. And we want to spread to the moon, to Mars, and so forth. But every part of history has a hidden teaching, has a secret that is revealed by who studies history, who studies science, history of science, history of thoughts, history of the human consciousness about the humanity. Every culture, every literature is an expression of humanity. So for everything that there was a time. And in the future, there will be time for other things as well. And I'm curious what we will see in this century, in the coming decades. Because if you notice, in the 20th century, every decade looked different. The 80s were different from the 90s. The 70s was unique. The 60s was different. And every time, every year, every century has a unique expression, a unique aspect of humanity. And the story just keeps going. Because in the same way we can go as far back as when we were apes. They also had a story to share. And we know that we evolved from apes because we got fossils. We have fossils as evidence that we've been in this planet for millions of years, evolving through time. In the same way that human history has time periods for certain cultures, for certain ways of expression, for certain trends, for certain fashions. The biological world also has different things to say that are recorded underground, that are recorded in rocks, the fossils, the life forms in the past, since the Cambrian explosion. Even before that, when the living forms on the earth were all bacteria or microorganisms. So time never stops. Time just keeps going. And the future is unknown for us, but we can make predictions based on the present and based on the past. There was a time for dinosaurs. There was a time for life leaving the ocean, leaving the water, and migrating to the land. There's always a time. There's always something. So, what should we do with regards to the future and to the present? We observe, because in the same way that there was a time for each thing, there's also a time for us, and this is now. We at the present, we are expressing ourselves. It is our time to do what we're passionate about, or to protect us against danger, or to revolutionize science and philosophy or so forth, to make new discoveries, and to find ways to live better. This is the time for us. And it seems that time always been. Like scientists says that the time had a beginning of the Big Bang. But not if there were things before the Big Bang, meaning There was already something before the Big Bang, the creation of the universe. And if that's the case, then in the future, if we're going to have a big crunch and then a new birth, a rebirth, the cycles just repeat themselves. But the events are unique, but they're all sort of similar, which leads to the fact that there's infinity to the past and there's infinity to the future. And time just keeps flowing and things just keep happening. And that's the law of the universe. Thanks for watching.